Hi Kiwi, and welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Shining Pearl. We're gonna go ahead and get back into raiding the Rocket, or not Team Rocket, but the Team Galactic base.
I smell an intruder.
And we're gonna just pick up with our conversation where we left off. My goal is to finish this base by the end of the episode, and I hope, if I remember to edit it in, that last episode ended with a very maniacal laugh, prompted by you telling me, well, picture yourself stealing someone's final donut. Which, you know, I think there are few more evil things than stealing someone's food. This Bronzor has to have Levitate, right? There's no point in me using Earthquake here. So we use Rock Smash. Or, yeah, Rock Smash. Ooh, Gyro Ball actually might hurt us a little bit, if we weren't so slow at least. Okay, so for context, Kiwi, Gyro Ball's base damage scales based on how big a difference in speed you have between you and your opponent. The slower you are relative to your opponent, the higher the base damage. So it's really good on very slow Pokemon, like Rock and Steel types classically are. But we're both Rock and Steel types, so we're both really slow. So even though it does super effective damage, its base damage is actually kind of pathetic. Alright, so we're going to keep up with our conversation of kind of rating and commenting on Gen 1 Pokemon and their relevance to me in terms of competitive value, aesthetic value, and casual experience value. So why don't we go ahead and talk about some Gen 1 water types. So we've got Horsea and Seadra, we've got Staryu and Starmie, and we've got Psyduck and Golduck to talk about, I think. That'll leave me talking for a fair bit of time. So starting off, love all of them. I think the water types of Gen 1 are some of their strongest designs, honestly. I love them all. They're just so classic. Some of them are really simple, and I appreciate that because I was drawing a Psyduck recently and having very little to draw other than like two circles stacked on top of each other with some rounded out flip arms and legs. Quite nice. But from a competitive standpoint, I really have not used any of them. I can make an argument for Kingdra, the evolution of Horsea and Seadra, but in terms of Gen 1, I never used Seadra, except for maybe in Pokemon Stadium I used Seadra once.
It was just my Pokemon that stunk.
But I'm trying to think. So, you know what? No, wait, what am I saying? Starmie was an absolute legend in Gen 1 and competitive and onwards, especially in Gen 2 when it learned Rapid Spin. Rapid Spin is just such a core necessary mechanic for competitive because entry hazards. When Gen 2 introduced spikes, it was only one layer that you had to worry about accumulating on the ground. You get one layer of spikes and that causes some chip damage to any non-flying type Pokemon that switch in. Before that though, oh my goodness, after that though, spikes became up to 3 layers in Gen 3. Am I a little lost? I think I'm a little lost again. Where is there must be another warp pad that I should have taken. I'll go back down those stairs or back to that warp pad we saw earlier. Unless there's something in this room that I missed, which I don't think I did. No, okay. All right, so back up we go. So yeah, well, let's go in order though. So Staryu and Starmie, since those guys are most present in my mind at the moment. I like both designs. They're super simple, but Staryu is classic. I mean, a starfish Pokemon, you can't go wrong. I've actually worked with starfish. They're really interesting and they're kind of terrifying how they eat. Let's not think about it too hard, but think about it. They kind of spit out their stomachs and engulf their prey. They use their limbs to kind of like grip things open like clamshells and rip them open. And on top of that, think about it from the perspective of if you've never seen a star or a clam move, it's actually weird. You should definitely look up videos of like underwater sea stars and clams and their ability to move. It's very, I don't know if I would say unique, but very interesting to watch. We've definitely been this way. Am I a little lost? Oh, you know what? I bet I know what I need to do. I need to go back through the front. I bet I have to go through the front entrance to progress from here. I bet that's what they want. So let me just do one more lap and confirm that I haven't missed anything. I'll cut commentary here and pick up in a second. All right, forgive me for that little cut edit, but I wanted to save some time in the video for not fluff for a change. Oh, I missed this room somehow. I never saw this when I tried the first couple rooms. Where does this green panel lead us? Nowhere? Okay, I guess we have to activate it. Fair enough. So let's see if this key card opens the door. And then for full clarity, I did not heal in between leaving this room, the dungeon, just to come back here. We have our rule about we cannot reset in dungeons, and this is about the same as where we left off. I just cut out the part of me getting here. Let's see, does this key card work? The door's locked, a special key is needed? Yes, okay, perfect. So I think that's what we needed to do. We needed to come back to the building and get in this way. Just gonna barge right in through the front door, Shinra style. Wait, not Shinra, Avalanche style.
Having fun scampering around our HQ, you sneaky intruder. Your trailblazing will go out in a blaze of glory right now.
You should be tired out by now. It's Team Galactic's turn to shine.
Anyway, so let's start with Staryu. Staryu, competitively always underlooked compared to its evolution, for fair reason. I mean, Starmie is everything that Staryu is, but better. It has 2 stars instead of 1. But I very fondly remember these Pokemon from Gen 1. The anime, from casual playthrough, I had a Starmie. I actually used a Starmie to beat a hacker on Wi-Fi once. This hacker somehow, I forget if it was Wi-Fi or if it must have been a local battle, because I don't think it would have been allowed on Wi-Fi, but this guy had clearly hacked his Pokemon and had gotten a Spiritomb. No, a Sableye rather. A Sableye with Wonder Guard. Wonder Guard is a move that makes it so only super effective moves can deal damage to that Pokemon. That doesn't stop things like poison or weather conditions from damaging it, but it blocks all attacking moves, which is very frustrating to deal with. But what this poor kid didn't know is that the move Soak, which this was my casual Starmie, so it had just learned Soak. Soak is a move that changes your opponent's type to water type. And Wonder Guard does not block it, so I converted his Sableye to a water type and then just thundered it down with Starmie, and that felt pretty good. I feel like there's no reason why I would have kept Soak on a Pokemon though, so it probably was I knew this guy was using Wonder Guard and had prepared to counter him. But it was still funny to see someone who, it's satisfying to take a cheater and kind of just bend them over your knee and smack their ass. Can we edit that out, Kiwi? I'm sorry, I said that out loud. But no, it was very satisfying. I have a similar memory of I was playing. It was the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX DS game. I don't even remember what the name of the game actually was, but in that game, I was running a mill deck, which mill decks are basically decks where you, your goal is to make your opponent run out of cards, because in a lot of TCGs, the way you, one of the win conditions you can have is if you or your opponent run out of cards in their deck, and typically at the start of your turn, you need to draw a card, right? You know what, hold on, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and use Quipplecore's turn to use the antidote so that Captain Squawk doesn't fall into our Poison Claws, instant killing him. And then Captain Squawk can get his attack off instead. He'll be faster, so he'll kill the Golbat, which is the bigger threat. Anyway, so I went up against a hacker on the Wi-Fi, because unlike Pokemon that has pretty strict regulations to prevent hackers from benefiting on Wi-Fi, this random Yu-Gi-Oh game on the DS certainly did not. So this guy was running a deck where he had just card destruction cards, which basically the way it works is you play the card, and then it makes you and your opponent discard all the cards in their hands and then draw more cards. So basically he was effectively playing a mill deck as well. He was playing a deck that forces you to discard your entire hand and run out of cards in your deck. And the way he hacked his deck was he had only card destructions in his deck. So every turn he could play multiple card destructions and force me to lose all my cards from my hand. But the funny thing is, a deck like that also forces them to get milled. So what I did was I had them. The way they started their turn was they placed. Yu-Gi-Oh has this weird position for different cards. There are monster cards that go in the front of the field, and in the back of the field you can play spell and trap cards. And basically, monsters are what do the fighting and are kind of your win condition for battles or for card matches. And the magic cards and trap cards are usually either counters to your opponent's strategy using those monsters to deal damage, or they can actually, the magic cards and the trap cards can in themselves do damage, but they're usually conditional, not this monster attacks on my attacking phase of my turn.
Your trailblazing streak lives on.
What? I don't get it. What's your rush?
But basically, so what he did, he got the first turn, unfortunately. So what he does is he plays a bunch of those cards face down in his like slots for magic cards, so that he didn't have to have them in his hand. Basically, you can put any number of traps and magic cards down on the field at once, but barring special conditions, you can only play one monster card per turn on the field. And face down means you can put them on the field but not use them, and then later you can flip them face up and activate them.
I won't let you disrupt our research. This is for Team Galactic.
And basically, so he got his entire hand on the field immediately and then activates one card. He has no cards in his hand, so he's not going to discard those cards. But because I hadn't had my turn yet, I had a full hand of 5 that immediately went into the graveyard and then got pulled up, and then I had to draw a new hand. And so he was able to like cut out like half of my deck immediately. I forget if this was the case or not, but I may have had some cards. Oh, I think the Wiimote may have activated there. No, I think I have control again. It's weird. It comes and goes sometimes, or it might just be my controller, honestly. We'll go ahead and switch into Captain Squawk here. Anyway, so he got rid of half my deck before I even had a chance to play, which is really lame and kind of a coin toss decision of whether that would matter or not. But on my turn, again, I had a mill deck. So what I did was, I forget if it was the case, but I think I had some cards that have the effect of if this card is sent to the graveyard, your opponent must either draw a card or discard a card. So it forced him to draw a whole bunch of cards into his hand, I believe. And if that wasn't the case, I did have some cards that you place face, the monster cards specifically, but also magic and trap cards of similar nature that force your opponent to draw cards. And one of them I think was like a moth larva sort of aesthetic type thing, whose effect was basically when you flip it from face down to face up, which you can only do the turn, your next turn after placing the monster card face down, or it automatically happens if your opponent attacks that monster card while it's face down. Basically, when the card gets activated, it forces your opponent to draw 5 cards, I think, or maybe discard 5 cards, I think is actually what it is, or it's at least 3. Point being, I had a bunch of those on the field, so he lost 15 cards that way, but most importantly what happened was, because he had filled up his entire... You can only put 5 monster cards and 5 magic or trap cards on the field at a time, so 10 cards altogether, but because of the nature of his deck, it was a cap of 5. Because he had placed all these cards down in his magic slots, he couldn't put any more cards down. So when he drew his new hand after using card destruction, he had a full hand of cards that he had to destroy, unfortunately for him. And then, because I got the sense of what he was going to do, having just gotten walloped with a whole bunch of, like, half my deck getting destroyed in one turn, I made sure I got every card out of my hand that I could, playing as many face-down spell cards, traps, that sort of thing, as possible. So, while he was losing 5 cards a turn now because he couldn't avoid it, or at minimum he was losing like 2 or 3, I wasn't losing any because my hand was empty. Or just shy of being empty. So it worked out really well. I love that they have beds in this little, like, random floor. The floor plan of this building doesn't quite make sense. It feels like we're heading in the right direction here because this is another double battle, so maybe I'll take those other warp pads first. We should also heal up Captain Squawk. Oh my goodness, Kiwi, I forgot to drink water between this and the last episode, and I can feel it in my throat. I am really bad at protecting my throat, and by the end of a recording session, I just sound so hoarse. Like, more hoarse than Rapidash, frankly. Oh, you know what? Oh, yeah, I was right. Hold on 1 second. All right, we have to do this whole rigmarole so often, Kiwi. Anyway, where was I? I think these guys are healed up enough. This should be fine. We'll take the double battle. We'll proceed. If I see the final boss room, I'll avoid it for a second.
Are you enjoying your unescorted, unauthorized, and unsettling tour of Team Galactic HQ?
Hey there, little trainer. You're famous among Team Galactic.
The order has been issued. We got a promotion if we put you down.
But yeah, I basically out-milled a cheater at his own game, basically, and it felt so good because it was close. I had like maybe 2 cards left in my deck to make him run out. And again, if you run out of cards in your deck, you lose the match. On the next turn, on the turn that at the start of your turn, you must draw 1 card. If when you draw that card, there are no cards to draw because your deck is empty, you win. Or rather, the person who, let me rephrase that, the person who can no longer draw any more cards. Really game? Maybe it is my controller, or maybe I was holding down on the control stick accidentally. We'll see. Hopefully that's the end of that. Okay, good. Stunky and Krogunk. Honestly, Earthquake right here sounds really good. I had a brief panic that Captain Squawk wasn't going to attack for some reason. All right, we're switching out to Pine Tree for safety reasons. Pine Tree won't get hit by Earthquake. Earthquake will one-shot both of these mooks. Anyway, so yeah, just to confirm, when you run out of cards, the person who draws and cannot draw because they have no cards in their decks automatically loses. I want to be clear about that. So I won because my opponent ran out of cards. But that was really cool. And it felt vindicated that I could beat a opponent without, who was very clearly blatantly cheating. The reason why I know that deck is cheating is because in Yu-Gi-Oh! You can have a maximum of, in most cases, 3 or 4 of the same card, I believe, or at least in that in that game, in that DS game, you could not have more than 3 of the same card. So this guy hacked his deck to have more of the same card, basically his entire deck being that one card. But it's funny, I had the one, probably the best possible counter to his gimmick build, which I just find hilarious. Oh, well, if you're just gonna keep giving us things that are weak to Earthquake, go ahead. I'll take that gladly. And we can just keep up, we'll just do Aerial Ace on Stunky. Doesn't matter, they're both getting 1 shot either way. So, that was a very large tangent off of, oh, well, shoot, I forgot that Stunky has Aftermath. Oops, guess I should have done Krogunk after all. Anyway, that was a really huge tangent off of Staryu that I don't even know how we got here, frankly. Oh, right, Starmie with Soak, I remember now. Either way, fun memories. You know, it's very satisfying to put a cheater in their place. Let's go back to what we were actually supposed to be talking about, Pokemon, right? All right, so Staryu, Starmie, a lot of strong memories from them in the anime with Misty being on Misty's team. Starmie was a competitive monster, using Rain Dance, using Rapid Spin to remove spikes, and later on Stealth Rocks and Toxic Spikes. In Gen 1 especially, it was an extremely fast Pokemon with decent bulk because of how Special Attack and Special Defense were 1 stat. Could use Thunder, could use Psychic, could use Surf, could use Hydro Pump and Ice Beam and Thunderbolt for more consistent accuracy over Thunder. It was, I guess Rain Dance was a Gen 2 move, mind you, but still, it was a competitive monster, even more so perhaps in Gen 2. It started falling off as Power Creep became the name of the game in competitive. Old Pokemon start to lose relevance because other newer Pokemon have shinier abilities, stronger base stats, better move pools. But Starmie's always had some degree of relevance for a couple gens going on from there. But certainly by time, I want to say Gen 5, if not Gen 6 and 7 rolled around, its relevance had kind of fallen to the wayside, unfortunately. I still love Starmie, and I have a strong association with one of my closest friends because it was his favorite Pokemon for a long time. So Staryu is cool, solid B tier for me. Starmie, S tier all the way. Can't spell Starmie without S. Technically, you can't spell Staryu without S either, but I'm gonna give it a B, so it's Staryu.
Let me do what I want. I just blew my promotion.
Anyway, so yeah, those two way up there for me. While we're on the topic, I guess we have Psyduck and Golduck. I thought Golduck was so cool, and I remember how, oh my goodness, there are so many teleport pads. I'm gonna get so lost here, Kiwi. Oh, thank goodness, a dead end. Dead ends are great. Dead ends mean I don't have to think about where I'm going. There was probably an item on the floor there. Maybe I should, let me real quick just check around the floor in there, because I bet usually the Pokemon team doesn't do a blank room for no reason. There's usually some reason to come here, right? 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 Come on, no? Nothing? Nothing really. All right, hold on. Let's do this. Let's give this item finder a chance to shine. If I can find the item finder somewhere. Next one, maybe? No? Oh my goodness, there are so many useless apps here. Anything? Anything? No? Oh, wait. There. Okay, so it looks like a couple steps to our right. So maybe here after all? Is it in the other room? Yeah, it must be in the other room. Okay, well, that's good to know. At least if we see this room later, we know where to look. It's in that little corner next to the boxes, I bet. Well, on the bright side, the item finder was actually useless. Actually, well, I guess technically it was kind of useless. Oops. Is this the same room by any chance? It is. Okay, so, well, there it is. Oh, hey, a rare candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Anyway, and then we get an elixir. Okay. We'll use that, maybe. That one fully restores all the PP of a Pokemon, which will be very helpful for the Elite Four. Doesn't seem like there's much else to do in this room, so let's keep moving along. So where else was I? What else do I have to say? Let's move on from Starmie and Staryu, because like I said, they are powerhouses. They are classics in casual and competitive. Okay, so we found the final room. I'm not gonna go in there yet. Let's backtrack and find our other 2 warp pads that we missed earlier, because there's still some goodies and still some battles we need to find in this quote-unquote dungeon of sorts. All right, let's see. So Psyduck and Golduck. I love Psyduck's design, and I'm a little partial to him just because he's my sister's favorite Pokemon. I've recently been drawing Psyduck, as I mentioned, and that's been kind of fun and lovingly simple compared to some of the more involved things I've had to draw recently. Namely, I'm drawing musical instruments on top. I'm basically drawing like a little band scene of the Pokemon playing instruments, which I'm hopeful comes out as good as I hope it to be, but we'll see. And I don't know, he's simple and I appreciate that. Kiwi! Kiwi! Oh, it's a max revive. We get Manny back. After we clear this dungeon, Manny is back on our team. Oh, thank goodness. We have, oh, even 2 episodes without Manny is rough. We're gonna see like a half of a third too. The Team Galactic Credo. Everything belongs to Team Galactic. Look beyond the world. Space will become Team Galactic's. Man, these guys seem kind of greedy and they're, seem more than a little greedy. Oh, anyway, oh goodness, I'm excited now. Oh, this is a little kitchen area, that's cute. Must be the staff room. All right, there's gotta be a hidden item in here too, right? Anything? Wait, hold on. Yeah, okay, so to our right somewhere. Maybe like right here? I don't understand how this thing works. Like the other one showed us there was an item. Looks like it's down and to the right, maybe? I don't get it, Kiwi. Anything? I can only mash this button as hard as possible. All right, I'm moving along. Like it's clearly reverberating off of something, right? Yeah, it must be in the next room over again. I don't know where that room is, and I don't care to look for it. We found a max revive, we found what we needed. Well, on the bright side, we did find the boss room, so that means we're basically gonna be clearing this this dungeon out now. Excellent. Oh, I guess since this is their HQ, we'll be seeing Cyrus. Oh no, Kiwi, I have been doing the gravelly grunt voices this whole episode and the episode prior. I'm gonna lose my voice for Cyrus again. This is gonna be rough. I hope you're ready for me potentially having to edit these lines in post, which I'm not looking forward to, but a little bit of extra work for a little extra polish, I suppose. Let's see, who do we want to lead against? We definitely top off our HP so we can use Sturdy in case of shenanigans happening here. We want our Pokemon at their absolute peaks. I probably shouldn't lead with Captain Squawk too much just because he's getting to the point where he'll be 5 levels over Starstar Gecko, and we already established why we don't want that in the last episode. He'll eat Starstar Gecko. So I guess I'll stick with Quibblecore lead. I don't think he will be a perfect match for all of Cyrus's team based on what I think I remember him having. But here we go, Kiwi, wish us luck. And wish my throat luck especially. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna destroy my throat for content round 2. All right, Cyrus. Oh my goodness, I can't even hit the high notes immediately.
I see. You must be the trainer I've been hearing about. The foolhardy one that's trying to stand up to Team Galactic.
I'm doing my best not to clip the mic, it's not working.
Although I'd hardly expect...
Help.
Although I'd hardly expect to see the trainer as a mere child.
Oh my god. Let's try this again.
Although I'd hardly expect to see the trainer as a mere child. I'd heard that our commanders had a rough time with you.
All right, so it turns out if I try and make this kind of lower, the airflow lower in my throat rather than higher, I can maintain it a bit better. The back of my throat and the top of my throat is just destroyed from the gravel.
I know why you're here. I can sense it in you. It's about Yuxi, Mespert, and Azelf, correct? You want to save them. I have no longer any need for them. I am finished with them. If your heart aches to save them, then go right ahead. I could care less.
Hi, Kiwi. This is going poorly.
It will save me the trouble of disposing of them. But I must say you are a remarkable specimen. Those Pokemon have nothing to do with you, do they not? But you still came to save them out of pity.
This is so rough on my throat.
Such pitifully useless emotions. It's illogical and irrational. Pity and compassion are products of the weak and lacking human heart. You were compelled to come here by such vacuum.
This is the the worst voice for this dialogue. Oh my god. You were compelled to come here by such vacuous sentimentality. I will make you regret paying heed to your heart. Oh, I am forcing those words out, Kiwi. My throat is shot. Okay. Oh, we've got the serious music playing. All right, we're starting with a Murkrow. Quipplecore can handle this easy. All right, I'm into this drum beat a little bit. It's weird though, because it doesn't fit the theme of like everything we've had so far that was super jazzy. Also, enemy team leader only has 3 Pokemon and one of them is a Murkrow. Where's your Honchkrow, bro? Be serious. Come on now. All right, we're just gonna smack this Murkrow down into place. Anyway, all right, let's focus on Psyduck. Psyduck, love him, round friend, Pokemon Concierge, the like little Netflix produced animated series. I love Psyduck in that so much. Again, Psyduck is my sister's favorite Pokemon, so there's bonus points for that. Golduck, I like a little bit less compared to Psyduck, but as a kid, I thought Golduck was so cool, and I actually had one on my team before I switched it out for a Slowbro, I believe. Sneasel we can manage very easily too, one-shot it with Rock Smash. But yeah, I think Golduck unfortunately loses points for me. I got so many doubles of Psyduck and Golduck when I was collecting Pokemon cards too, so there's that sort of memory associated with them. Competitively speaking, I don't think they've ever been terribly relevant, especially compared to why would you ever choose to use Golduck when you have Starmie in the same generation from the start, just having a better move pool, better damage stats, better speed. Golduck may have a little bulk on Starmie, but that's about it.
My last Pokemon My last Pokemon
is a Golbat. My goodness, this is pathetic for a gym leader. You're not even a gym leader, but still, this is pathetic. We made Cyrus into a joke. Like, there must be another battle against him because this feels so disappointing, I guess. I don't know. Oh well, there's Cyrus, which means I have to talk more in his voice. Oh boy. Oh boy. Here we go, Kiwi. Wish my throat luck.
Interesting and quite curious. Interesting and quite...
I can't do it.
Interesting and quite curious.
There we go. Okay, if I try to really force air out my throat, it'll work.
I see you are indeed strong. And the basis of your power is your compassion towards Pokemon.
It's gone. It's so gone.
And the basis for your power is compassion towards Pokemon. How wasteful. Such emotions are but mere illusions. And like all illusions, they fade over time, until death banishes them.
Why is this what this guy is saying with this voice?
And like all illusions, they fade over time, until death banishes them forever. That is why I have abandoned all... That is why I have abandoned all emotions as useless sentimentality. But that doesn't matter. I doubt you will ever understand my position. That said... That said, I recognize that you are strong and courageous to come alone. This is your reward. Have a Master Ball. The Master Ball is the ultimate Pokeball. It will unfailingly catch any Pokemon in the wild, but it is not anything that I require. Unlike you trainers, I do not make Pokemon my friends or my partners.
Do I even re-record this, or do I just let this be as it is, Kiwi? I am done recording after this episode. Oh my god.
Unlike you trainers, I do not make Pokemon my friends or partners. Unlike other galactic members, I don't use Pokemon as tools. Instead, I make the power of Pokemon my own.
Oh, thank God he's gone. We're free. Oh my God. No, don't turn around and say more things, please. Please stop. Please stop.
If you wish to save the Pokemon from the lakes, take the warp petal ahead. I'm out to... I am off to Mount Coronet. That's correct, Mount Coronet, where you and I first met. I will ascend the mountain to its peak and then put an end to everything. No, I will not be... No, I will not about to be... It hurts, Kiwi. It hurts my throat, and it hurts my soul. No, I will bring about a new beginning for everything. Oh, he's gone, Kiwi. We're free. Kiwi, I'm ending the episode here. Let's go save the spirits, and we're calling it a day. My throat is shot. My emotions are a wreck. And we're not done with Cyrus. We have at least one more interaction with him from the sounds of it. Let's say one more time. We just throw out our voice one last time for one last bit of dialogue, though.
I cooperated with Team Galactic, but this experiment has gone too far.
Yep, there it goes. Goodbye, throat. All right, where are the spirits? Oh, some random science lady? Yes.
I can't say anything in our defense, but that thing we made, what is it going to be used for?
Yuxi is sealed inside. It appears to be suffering with eyes squeezed shut. Oh boy. Mesprit is sealed inside. It seems to be suffering with its tails twitching. Azelf is sealed inside. It appears to be suffering with racking shudders. Alright, I assume we're not about to fight this guy, but if we are, I'm not really ready for another fight, but let's go ahead. This guy, if I recall, had the Lorenz voice, right? How do I even do that?
You came all the way here just to save some Pokemon. Though it's nothing new, I can't say I understand our boss. Why would he let a kid like you come and go freely? We, Team Galactic, take all that we need and eliminate what we do not. But anyway, you've taken the trouble to come. Let me welcome you. Consider it payback. Ah, please, I don't want to battle. No. Oh well. Consider it payback for your insulting me at the lake.
Look, your voice is dumb. It's not my fault. Well, I guess we're having one extra bonus battle. So Kiwi, I guess this episode's going a little bit longer. We're fighting Commander Saturn. We'll wreck him. And let's go ahead and talk about... Let's talk about Seadra and Horsey. I love Horsey's design. I think it is so cute. I'm a little annoyed at it by how many double cards I got back when I used to collect TCG, the Pokemon TCG cards, because my goodness, Horsey was such a common double to get. But I don't care. It is so cute. I think Misty got a Horsey, right? Yeah, she caught a Horsey in the anime. So there's bonus points for that. Seadra, I mean, you know me, Kiwi. I am an edgelord. I get excited about Shadow the Hedgehog's design as a kid. Seadra looks so cool as a kid, and then Kingdra was just even better. Although I do think the tube nose is a little weird to me. I don't really like Kingdra's design. I know I'm not going to really talk too much about Gen 2 Pokemon, but let me just say, Kingdra, amazing and competitive for as long as it lasted. It had base 90 stats, base 95 stats, so it was an amazing all-rounder. Could get Dragon Dance, which just upped its speed above most competitive Pokemon, and then it got an attack stat on boost on top of that. A devastatingly strong Pokemon, which I think actually has recently seen some resurgence into the competitive scene, although I forget how and why. At this stage, I've kind of fallen out of the competitive scene. I'm mostly kind of just reiterating commentary that I've heard from either False Swipe Gaming or Wolf Clicks VGC roundups. But it's like, while I don't have that much of an interest in playing Pokemon competitively anymore, I still like to follow some of the news and the strategies because it's fun to see. And I was always a singles player, but I very much acknowledge the fact that Pokemon competitive is at its peak in doubles. The doubles format is fast. The battles only last a couple of turns, but every turn matters. Every Pokemon move matters. The switching has to be on point, so it's really fun to watch. But I digress. If it's not relevant to up to Gen 5 and maybe a little bit after that, I'm certainly out of date in terms of my competitive knowledge, limited to only what I learned from content creators on YouTube. Let's go ahead and have... I think Star Gecko can handle a Bronzor, as long as it doesn't hit us with a Psybeam, which would be really unfortunate if it suddenly decided to do that instead of another Confused Ray or attacking move, but we're Payback, we're fine. We proved that Payback does nothing to Haunter. Yeah. And we should be able to one-shot this before it does any further damage. With a nice, juicy... Oh. I think we proved that its Dark Pulse does more damage, so we'll go for that. Anyway. So I as a kid, thought Seadra's design was really cool. I used it in... I never used it casually, but I did use it in Pokemon Stadium on a couple teams, because I think it had a decent move pool. And that, at the bare minimum, I remember it using Surf a lot, so it probably had that move. Oh, hey, look at that. Star Gecko is getting Shadow Ball, and with that, we replace Hex, and we have it... Oh my goodness. No, stop it, stop it. Okay. My Joy-Con turned back on. Oh my goodness, Kiwi, I think this controller is starting to give up the ghost, and the ghost is not Star Gecko, unfortunately. Hopefully that fixes that. Okay, here we go. I think that's like the third time that's happened this episode. I might have to switch out to a new controller in the next couple episodes, Kiwi. That's unfortunate, but there we go. All right, we're replacing Hex with Shadow Ball. That's a huge DPS up for us in terms of our potential. We do not stay out for Toxicroak, and we're going to be benefiting from the fact that Pursuit has probably been removed. Who can handle a Toxicroak easy? Either Captain Squawk or Pine Tree, I think, is fine. We'll go for Pine Tree, I think, because we can resist fighting type moves. Actually, we can't because we're part normal type. Why do they love sticking normal type on flying type birds? Why can't they just be pure flying? What's wrong with that? What's so wrong with just making a pure flying type? Oh well. It is what it is. We easily tank a Thief. We don't have any items being held that we will lament being lost. Let's go ahead and hit this guy with an Aerial Ace and call it a day. Anyway, so yeah, Seadra up there in design for me. Beyond that, nothing much. I'd say both Horsea and Seadra go into like an A or a B tier for me, like a high B tier, low A tier in terms of nostalgia, design, and emotional connection to them.
You're tough, kid, but I still pity the likes of you.
Pity me all you want, you're still the one who lost.
Yeah, what makes you so tough? Fine, do whatever you want with those 3 Pokémon. Press the button on that machine to set them free.
Isn't that why you came? Alright, whatever. I will press the button in the next episode. Kiwi, I need to give my throat a rest. I have done a lot. I need to go make some tea, mix it with some honey and lemon, and have a nice, lovely afternoon with you afterwards. But with all that said, Kiwi, I think I have to do this just for the sake of ending the video the best way possible.
I hope that you've enjoyed watching, and if you're awake, I hope this is helping you fall asleep. If you're sleeping, I hope you're sleeping well. I love you, and I will see you in the next one for some more Pokemon.
I love you, Kiwi.